there are some destinations that still appear to be clouded for certain players. Players like Blake Snell, Josh Hader, anybody on the trade market. But there are three in particular that seem to be destined and set to happen. We're talking about Matt Chapman, Jordan Montgomery, and Cody Bellinger. We're going to talk about why all signs appear to be pointed in that direction. I'm going to tell you why it makes sense, why it's a perfect fit for the player and the franchise. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you disagree, tell me, where do you think is a better fit for Chapman or Monty or Belly? Let me know where you think they're going to go. Also, make sure to hit that like if those of you watching the premiere. Help us get to our premiere like goal. It will help us get to, or at least close to, a overall like goal that we have set. Let's get this thing started, and we're going to start with Matt Chapman in the San Francisco Giants. Here it was from Bob Nightingale yesterday. It's hard to imagine seeing free agent third baseman Matt Chapman anywhere but the San Francisco Giants or possibly the Cubs. Well, let's debunk the Cubs first and foremost. They traded for Michael Busch. Michael Busch is going to be the third baseman. I know if you go to Fangraphs, you're going to see him as the first baseman, but just forget that for right now. He's the third baseman for the Chicago Cubs. And when you add him to that infield, Busch, Swanson, Horner, and your first baseman now could be a return to Belly. We'll talk about that in a minute. Maybe it's a Rhys Hoskins play, or at worst case scenario, Mervis is your first baseman. So the Cubs, let's not even worry about that. It's San Francisco or bust for Matt Chapman, and it makes sense. First, let's talk about it from the Giants' perspective. Look at that defense last year. The most errors in baseball with 117. Nobody had more than the San Francisco Giants last year. Imagine if they could have cleaned some of that up. Maybe they could have been in the hunt for a wild card spot. And let's also think about how great Matt Chapman is on defense. Your best pitcher, Logan Webb, generates a 62% ground ball rate. Alex Cobb, he'll miss the first month of the season, but when he's back, he's a near 60% ground ball rate. I like that. Robbie Ray's coming in. He'll be there midseason. He's more of a fly ball pitcher, but two of your top three pitchers, the ground ball pitchers, get them more support. Get them an elite third baseman. Upgrade your defense. I believe you already did that with Lee in center field. Let's add Chapman to the mix. It makes perfect sense in this scenario. Now, thinking about the bat, we understand. He swings and misses. He strikes out a lot. Those of you that have been with me for a while here, you've heard me talk negatively about Matt Chapman. But a lot of times that negativity is aligned with the team that we're talking with him about. We're talking with him about a potential fit. And if it's not a fit, I don't have anything positive to say. But in this situation, there's a fit, so I have good things to say. I love what he could do for that team defensively. And look, you're going to go through spells where he's swinging and missing and striking out a lot. But he's still, when he makes contact, finds the barrel and hits the ball hard. He's got a decent walk rate to make up a little bit for all of that striking out. And the fielding and the sprint speed is all well above average. The sprint speed above average. The fielding is among the best in baseball. So go out there and make it happen. It's San Francisco Giants. It's the way to go. It is a good fit for the team for that reason and for the player because what he provides is really what they need, which will elevate his value with the club. On to the Rangers. Jordan Montgomery. This is where it's going to be, right? In Bob Nightingale's article yesterday, Jordan Montgomery is widely expected to re-sign with the Texas Rangers. Why? The reason is because, and here it is, recapped with ABC Channel 8 there in Texas. Part of the Rangers' renewed contention for Montgomery, according to John Heyman, is the possibility of the club getting a one-time payment up to $90 million for its TV rights. If they can get that done, then all of a sudden, yes, the Rangers can not only get Monty, but they can also be in the mix for Josh Hader. And you need Jordan Montgomery because look at this rotation. You're thinking about making another run, trying to defend your World Series title, and you're not going to do it with this rotation. You're just not. And part of the problem is that this guy, Max Scherzer, surgery on the herniated disc, out until the middle of the season. You have to get to Scherzer's return date still in the mix. So Jordan Montgomery is a must. He's an absolute must at this point for the Texas Rangers. Without him, I don't know where they're going to be come midseason, come the return of Max Scherzer. And even by the time Scherzer comes back, how much is Max going to give you? That is still to be seen. Let's get to our third and final, and it is Cody Bellinger with the Chicago Cubs. More from Bob Nightingale. If Cody Bellinger does not wind up back with the Cubs, the Blue Jays and the Mariners are lurking. This is interesting. He's getting that information from a source. Has to be. Let's debunk it. Mariners first. Then we'll debunk the Blue Jays. First with the Mariners. Financially, I don't see it. Mariners to take full control of Root Sports Northwest, clouding the team's financial outlook. This is from the Seattle Times. You're wondering why Seattle seemed to be shedding money early this offseason? Here you go. At this moment, January 15th, the estimated 2024 payroll is $10 million less than last year's final. I don't think they have the money to give Cody Bellinger 20 or 25 million for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And they still need more additions in other areas. So Cody Bellinger's not it. Weeks ago, 1 week ago, you had additions for that outfield. Bringing in Mitch Haniger and then bringing in Luke Raley. So from a roster perspective now, it's not really a need. You signed Mitch Garver to be your DH. You brought Mitch Haniger back. He's in right. Luke Raley's in left. You've got Julio in center. Your first baseman is Ty France. And there's no DH spot to put Ty France now. So you're set. There's no roster need there. And when you're in a clouded financial future situation that Seattle's in, you can't go spend $25 million in Cody Bellinger when the roster has started to come together. Holes have been filled. There's no room for him. Certainly he would be an upgrade, but with financial limits, that upgrade is not feasible. Blue Jays, let's debunk the Toronto Blue Jays as a potential lurking team. Look at the final payroll from 2023. It's $214. The estimated payroll is $221. That is including Vladdy getting his big payday here soon through arbitration. Mark Shapiro gave his end of season press conference, and he told the fan base that they would be able to keep the payroll where it was last year. He did not say they were going to be raising the payroll, did not say elevate, increase. None of those words were used. He said they would be able to hold the payroll where it has been. So we're right now at a spot after Vladimir Guerrero Jr. signs to where they're holding the payroll slight increase. So where's the money for Cody Bellinger? They were only going in on Ohtani. That was the only way they were going to take their payroll to a different stratosphere. And more evidence from Ross Atkins in a press conference back on January 3rd. How many moves are left? I don't think we'll add 3 players. I think most likely that's closer to 1 player. Now, 1 player going to be Cody Bellinger? Ross Atkins on what's missing from the team. I think the things we're missing aren't people. The things we're missing are the ability to support and help our players. There's nothing coming out of the Blue Jays camp. And since then, the Blue Jays have been linked and rumored to be in on Jock Peterson. So there's no Cody Bellinger happening. So let's all cool it on that. It's the Cubs. It's the Cubs or bust. And that's terrible for Cody Bellinger and Scott Boras as they're trying to build a market, try to get Cody Bellinger paid the biggest contract Cody Bellinger will ever sign. It's difficult when there may only be one team involved. We take a look at the payroll for the Cubs. I believe they have the money to do it. They're still estimated to be under slightly last year's final payroll, and last year's final payroll settled where it was, but they were still being aggressive looking for more players. So that 190 is in no means a ceiling. I think you're just trying to stay out of luxury tax levels. And the Chicago Cubs can get Cody Bellinger and stay out of luxury tax levels. Look at this lineup with Cody Bellinger. I argue that Michael Busch is going to be really good for you. Mike Tauchman or PCA, whoever ends up being there in center field, that's going to work out too. 1 through 8 with Cody Bellinger. This team bangs, and that's what you need. Go get Cody Bellinger. You have a really nice balanced lineup with righties and lefties with this group as well. It makes too much sense not to happen. It seems like it is destined to happen. The only reason why it wouldn't is if the Cubs screw it up. Go out there and get them. Again, those watching the premiere, make sure to hit that like. If you're not watching the premiere, you're watching this on your own time, please hit that like if you enjoyed this video, because we are all done here. But I want you guys to, before you leave, again, like, subscribe, and comment down below. Do you disagree anywhere? Do you see Cody going somewhere else? Why? Do you see Monty or Chapman going somewhere else? Say why. Let me know. Maybe you can convince me. Maybe you can change my mind on why Chapman would be a perfect fit for the Phillies. I don't know. Or Montgomery's not going to the Rangers. He's going to be a Red Sox. Tell me why. Comment down below, everybody. That is going to do it for this one. Thank you guys for coming in and spending some time with the channel. Again, hit those likes on the way out. Ballcap Nation, I salute you. Thank you for coming in and supporting the channel. Remember, if it's low, let it go. And if it's high, let it fly.